As I stay on the line, we're joined by Jian, who is in Cairo. Is in her 60s and has been out protesting today. And Asa, who is an Egyptian in Dubai. Indeed, I was just about to say, Asa, it's your mother. Jian, first of all, tell us, you've been out on the streets. What have you seen today?
I saw a lot of the young lady was talking about, and I saw what I saw, and I liked very much that some of the police members took off their uniform and said, "We are with you," and this made me really happy, because now it's the people, it's the whole people are trying to send a message to this regime that take off, or at least give us some of our rights and democracy. It's been a hell for 30 years, and it's over. It should be over, and enough. So I saw from the police some nice signs that they didn't want to go really tough on people. Some of them, not all of them, of course, because this is the police at the end. Now that the army is there, I don't know what will be happening, because I couldn't stand to stay that much. I'm rather old. So I went home, but tomorrow we'll continue, I hope so.
Elsa, how do you feel hearing your mum say that?
Yeah, I just heard her. We've witnessed some of them not sympathizing with us, but some of them, some of the police, I mean, were trying not to hurt us. But this was not in all places throughout the protest during the day. Some of them let us pass, and some would really shoot anybody who would attempt to try to be close to the bridge.
Asa, do come in, because you're listening there to your mum, who's in her 60s, who's been out protesting. You're in Dubai.
Yeah.
It must be worrying.
It is worrying, and I feel I envy everybody in Cairo right now, or all over Egypt actually, that they have a chance to participate in this movement. I am worried, but I'm also confident that there will be a change, and as long as everybody continues to voice out their worries, I believe we'll be successful, inshallah.
Yes, inshallah.
I believe people from all walks of life were in the streets today asking for the rights once and for all, and finally. So I'm looking forward to the close end, inshallah.
But I'm more worried about what will happen next, and especially the transition period until everything settles down. Hopefully...
We don't know what the army will do with us. We don't know yet what they will stand for. And that's what we are all afraid of. Because the people in the streets, they are welcoming very much the army. But we don't know the army is there to do what. With us, against us, with whom exactly, we don't know.
I think the army is having the government.
It is with the government, but would they force us, and the government, the president himself, would he be that stupid to insist on what he's having now? Wouldn't he change a little bit? He's 80s, yeah. He's in his 80s. It's enough. It's enough. Hopefully he can hear what we are saying. I'm not afraid.
He knows very well that most of the nation are fed up with him, with the regime, with the government, with anybody who or will come under his government. He knows very well. But I don't think at the moment that the government cares or the president would care. They just care about protecting their own positions and their own benefits in the area.
But most of them, Habibti, they are all out of Egypt now. Most
probably, yes.
Yes. Most of them, they have withdrawn a lot of money, and they went out.
Yeah.
So hopefully he will be left
That's
alone.
what we were telling the police today. They are there defending people who are not there anymore.
It's interesting.
Exactly.
It's interesting that you say that, because Mohammed is sitting next to me, looking at Facebook, looking at Twitter, and you were saying to me earlier on, Mohammed, during the news, that there are tweets saying that President Mubarak has left the country. Obviously, we don't know whether this is true, but there are rumours certainly circulating.
Indeed,
Most likely, yes.
it's spreading between the protesters in Cairo. We're also seeing that Egypt Airways has suspended its flights from Egypt for the next 12 hours, so there will be no flights leaving Egypt through Egypt Airways over the next 12 hours. Also, information has been leaking from Vodafone, that the telecommunications company, that they've received government orders to continue blocking internet and
Telephone lines.
telephone
Yeah.
lines.
Very silly. This is very silly, truly.
Why do you say that, Jian? Do you think that's fueling the protests?
I'm saying this is very silly to cut all the internet, all the phones. We don't have cell phones anymore. And I don't know how they can continue like this, because it's isolated us, yes. But we
more
manage.
It's making people more angry and making all of us feel that
Exactly. That's what happened today. Because I don't know what's happening. I went into the street to see what's happening. And
the question is, Mubarak did not see the country, or anyone from the government did not see the country. Why they haven't appeared on television yet?
I don't think they have something that makes sense.
CNN have put this small announcement that he will be addressing the people, and it happened that they were excused. I don't know how. Not,
well, certainly for the last couple of hours, we've been waiting for a statement from President Mubarak. We were told that the last couple of hours. As yet, we're still waiting for that. But certainly, from the three of you in your discussions, it sounds like you feel this is the turning point and this is the beginning of the end.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Yes, definitely.
I'm only worried that
Way or other, it will be a turning point. Hopefully, it's for the best. Not a military thing, but it is a turning point, of course.
Well, it is a turning point, but as long as the army doesn't actually start doing real violence against the protesters, if by tomorrow
welcoming the army, and this is very strange.
Mohammed, we've seen bad treatment today throughout the day, yani. So I don't think the army would be lousier than the police. We've had a tough time in the street.
You would be surprised.
But they will be controlling much more than the police. And will be really controlling and fighting. And we don't have, we have only the stones to throw.
Yeah, that's right. But if the rest of the nation would rise up, it will not only be stones.
So relating to what you had to say earlier about...
I hope so. Unfortunately, this I didn't want this to happen, but apparently it's the only way.
Yeah.
Mohammed just wants to pick up on what you're talking about with some of the comments he's reading.
Relating to how the army is dealing with the demonstrators, it seems like the army is losing control again over these demonstrations. Another tweet is coming from Mahalla saying that the riots have now reached over 100,000 people, and they're roaming the streets all over Mahalla. Also regarding the presidential address, President Mubarak announced that today he will not be addressing the nation, even though it's the fourth day, and will be content with just a presidential order to curfew.
Absolutely right, Roz. As I look up at the TV screen, lots of pictures of people still out on the streets in Egypt defying this government curfew. Military helicopters, we understand, are flying over Cairo, and the ruling party's headquarters are still on fire. Mohammed is still with me here in the World Heavy Say studio, looking at comments coming in on Facebook and Twitter. But in a moment, we can speak to an Egyptian living here in the UK. But first, let's speak to Hisham, who is Egyptian but lives in Canada. Welcome to World Have Your Say, Hisham. What do you make of what's happening back home?
I'm very happy today. In the morning, I was crying watching TV, fearing of the Egyptians and how they were badly treated by the Egyptian government and by the regime of Hosni Mubarak. And then it was a miracle. By 5 or 6 in Egyptian time, like the collapse of his police, but actually it is military almost. Ceased to control most of the cities. The anger was very high. The pressure of 30 years or more, actually, even before. We are oppressed from before he comes, and he oppressed us from day one. We are in martial laws. It is really funny. When something like that major in the country, he cannot even declare martial laws because we are in martial laws for almost 50 years. Now I'm very happy, very worried. I'm very worried. I hope and I pray that the demonstrators will continue in the street until this is the only thing that I can say. I really hope to see him tonight in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. This is all my dream. And I think this is the only solution that we will make these people go home, and I hope they will continue. I'm not following the news for the last 30 minutes, so I don't know really what is happening. But by the time I left my office for the Friday prayer here in Canada, so who knows now, what is happening?
Well, certainly events are moving fast, Hisham, and as Mohammed was saying earlier on, there are rumours on Twitter that President Mubarak has left the country, but they're nothing more than rumours at this stage. We don't know any more than that.
I really hope he oppressed us for so much that I think it is better for him to leave. If he leaves out of Egypt, to say the truth, I will find it very difficult for me to feel sorry or for his miserable few years until he die. But actually, we are very happy also because we got rid of his son and his family and his gang and his party. It is unbelievable.
Okay, Hisham, thank you. I'm going to have to just jump in there because I want to get a thought from Dr. Murataz Atalla, who is in the UK, is Egyptian, and you've been struggling to get hold of your family in Egypt, I understand.
I'm starting to get in touch with my family. I've just spoken to them 5 minutes ago.
And how are they?
They are fine. I think one important result, of course, is that first of all, the idea of having Mubarak continuing in power after all that happened in the past 3 or 4 days is not going to happen. This is certain. The second point is that the idea even of his son also taking over is not going to happen. The idea that the ruling party, the National Democratic Party, continuing in power is not going to continue. And these are the main achievements of what happened today.
And it's going to be interesting to watch developments in Egypt over the next few days. Many people coming on World Have Your Say today telling us they've been out protesting today. They will be out again protesting tomorrow. Thank you for everybody who's got in touch with the programme. Thank you especially to Mohammed, who's been sitting next to me during the programme. You can carry on this conversation as ever at Facebook, facebook.com/World Have Your Say.
BBC